It's October 10th, 2023, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxel. Palestinians conducted a mostly peaceful protest over the weekend in Israel, only murdering over 900 civilians, only injuring a few thousand, and only raping and kidnapping a few women. Meanwhile, Palestinian supporters across the world held mostly peaceful protests to celebrate all the murder and the rape. But when they went back home after a hard day of raping and murdering, they found those homes mostly in pieces. As part of the attack on civilians, Hamas murdered and injured hundreds of children. But in defense of Hamas, kids are the worst, right? They're so entitled to want to live past the age of 6. Images out of Gaza showed the Palestinians parading dead bodies through the streets. The most shocking part about the images was that the Palestinians use any of their international aid to actually pave the streets and not murder Jews. During the last few days of horrific violence in the Middle East, President Biden was exactly where you expect him to be. Nowhere to be seen. Well, except for a barbecue party at the White House on Sunday that featured a live band. Aides finally, and very slowly, guided Biden to the Situation Room, where they have been trying to get the president to stop calling the terrorist organization Hamas. And to show his lasting support for Israel, Biden promised to give Iran another $6 billion. On Monday, presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced he will be running as an independent and not as a Democrat. RFK Jr. is the first Kennedy to officially break from the Democratic Party after more than a century of familial association. Oh, if his father were alive today, he'd be 97 years old, the same age as President Biden. New York Senator Chuck Schumer, remember that guy? Has led a bipartisan delegation to China to promote a stronger China-U.S. relationship in a fragile and fractured geopolitical environment. And Schumer wants to know if the Kung Pao chicken over there is as good as the one he gets at Panda Express on 51st and 3rd in East Midtown. When asked about the language barrier with the Chinese leaders, the Schumer delegation shrugged it off, saying, "We can't even understand what our own leader is saying." Speaking of things from China, the new iPhone 15 recently was released. Here with a review is Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Burton Cowden.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited. The new iPhone 15 is out. Let me show you one. So this is the new, this is my iPhone 7. Maybe this is, no, this is my 11. So this one, no, that's the 5. There's the 3. This doesn't look right. I don't know what the new iPhone is about. I guess get it because it's new. Back to you.
Thank you, Burton. The sun's magnetic poles are about to switch, which could lead to major coronal mass ejections, solar flares disrupting satellites and infrastructure on Earth. Oh, hooray! The sun's been really angry this year, so let's just walk away quietly like nothing happened and everything is fine. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Oh, God, what are those idiots doing now? The CDC is no longer printing COVID-19 vaccination cards. But be sure to save yours, though. In a few years, it may be worth more money than Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard's entire collection of worthless 1990s baseball cards. Prada has signed on to help design the spacesuits for NASA's Artemis 3 mission to the moon. The design team said they're working on a suit that weighs no more than 95 pounds, is slim-fitting, and is fueled only by cocaine and Instagram follows. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, has decided North America's monarch butterflies are not endangered, as they previously proclaimed just last week. We'll just see about that, said the North American Society for Butterfly Eaters, or NASB. Rehearsals are underway for our ambitious new concept show, The Dream Cafe Experience, which opens November 3rd and will run for 2 weekends at the Warehouse here in Atlanta. Tickets are on sale now at sketchworkscomedy.com, and we'll be doing our traditional closing night live stream right here on our YouTube channel. Hey, while you're here, why not check out some of our past closing night live streams? Just click on the Live tab and enjoy hours of live Sketchworks comedy shows. And while you're clicking on things willy-nilly, be sure to click on that subscribe button if you haven't already. We are getting ever so close to our 2023 goal of 1,000 subscribers. Can we do it this week? Let's find out. And that's our gratuitous plug. The Mexican beer brand Modelo has overtaken Bud Light as the top-selling beer in the U.S. In response, Bud Light has asked Congress to build a wall in front of the imported section in liquor stores. In NFL action this weekend? Oh, Taylor Swift wasn't at any games. Forget it then. Speaking of the Chiefs' newest fan, the Federal Reserve says Taylor Swift's Eras Tour boosted Philadelphia's economy due to everyone who came to Philadelphia to see her play. In related news, Duracell and Energizer report higher than expected sales due to Philadelphians buying batteries to try to throw at her. The ghost of Taylor Swift passed. Paris Hilton has struck a major deal with Company X to create video content. And if there's one thing Paris is good at, it's making low-quality videos for older, creepy men to watch. It was revealed an actor who played Tim Allen's son on Home Improvement has recently been jailed for the second time this year. And it's not Taron Noah Smith. You'd think it was Taron Noah Smith because of his 2012 bust for hash, but nope. It's not Taron Noah Smith. It was one of the other two. Which one? Well, you'll just have to figure that out for yourself.
I'm Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard with a very, very, very serious NewsBrake report. Inside this home right here is an example of depravity. It is what happens when a man comes face to face with his addiction. In this case, it's an addiction that's understandable, but all the more horrific. I do want to warn you, this may be graphic.
Brian, what are you doing?
Tim, what are you doing here?
Brian, that's Bucky's beef jerky.
It's not Bucky's beef jerky.
Brian, listen.
Tim?
I'm here to help you, Brian.
Tim, you gave this to me. What do you mean you're here to help me?
Brian.
You gave me this.
Brian, look, you don't, no, Brian,
smells
no,
so good.
Brian. No, Brian, what are you doing?
Whoa,
No, Brian, no.
Look, I really don't see what the problem is here, all right? It's garlic beef jerky. It's not cocaine. You know what? Let's just change the subject. In cocaine news, in the U.S., the FDA is encouraging drug makers to develop a treatment for cocaine addiction. While in Russia, Vladimir Putin claims that among Yevgeny Prigozhin's belongings when his plane crashed were 5 keys of cocaine. And a company in Canada is pushing for the Canadian legalization of cocaine. Don't you have enough snow, Canada? And that's your weekly bump. Oh, it smells so good. Of cocaine news. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a so-called Skittles ban that outlaws 4 common food additives blamed for causing cancer and mood disorders. Many of these additives are found in candy. Hope you kids in California like getting carrot sticks for Halloween. And, just in time for Halloween, Crocs has announced a new cowboy boot style to their fall shoe collection. Sources say the cowboy boots are part of the I have no reason to live cowboy costume sold at Walmart. Officials believe the weight loss drug Ozempic could be linked to severe stomach conditions, including bowel obstruction and the disease known as booty do, which is the medical term used when your gut hangs out more than your booty do. The unique pad in cats' vocal folds responsible for purring has been discovered, according to a study published in the scientific journal Current Biology, or CUB. To demonstrate this purring sound, Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondents Winston and Malachi will... No, wait. I forgot they're union cats now. It's their mandatory nap time. Sorry, cat fans. Researchers at Copenhagen's National Museum found evidence that Vikings had windows. Thus, they aren't the barbarians you think they are. However, Vikings did not have high-speed internet, so guess what? They're still barbarians. An Iowa woman returning from safari in Kenya was stopped by U.S. Customs agents after she tried to smuggle in giraffe poop for her fecal jewelry line. Sources say the jewelry line, consisting mostly of moose feces, is the shit. Her jewelry line is sold at Walmart in the E. coli section. A 62-year-old man injured his grandson after shooting a blank round into the air to hype up wedding guests. The man was sentenced to serve jail time and has been restricted to shooting blanks into his court-ordered tube sock. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel. Say hi to your mom for me.